nianze. This is an open part of the Ndiri swamp where water is flowing sideways along the edge of the swamp. And because this is a point that this movement of water is very low, you can see there are insects. So if you remember the whirligig and the water boatman, there is no water boatman. These are whirligig insects because it is their feet which are on the surface of water and they can move on the water. So you could identify which species are here and which species are in a different place. So we want to find out whether we can get any type of plankton. And when we say plankton, they are microscopic and they are not basic. So we will use a plankton net. Normally you are required to take a volume of water and then filter through this and observe under the microscope. So this will give you, when it is a volume, you can estimate the volume of plankton that are in water. Plankton can be both animals or plants. So that is the experiment we want to do. Mr. Samoe will demonstrate how to look for the plankton. That place is stable, so it can be sweeping. You sweep through the water, and that plankton net has a diameter. So if it is sweeping, you can estimate how much volume of water has been swept to know the quantity of organisms that are inside. So we have collected a sample and we will observe under the microscope whether we can see any plankton. Next, we want to see whether there are any benthic organisms in the water. So we have two types of sieves. This is 2000 microns. You can see how big it is. And the lower one is 0.5 millimeters. Micrometers. So let us scoop the bottom soil and see whether we can find any macro invertebrates. So we have two sieves. The large ones will remain on top. The small ones will be held by the bottom sieve. So in this case, this water is very cold, and just by observing these big chunks, I cannot, or probably it's too cold. So for the top one, I'm not seeing any large organism wiggling through. Normally we look for gastropods, we look for earthworms in the water, in this mud. Sorry, in this mud. So I cannot see any organism. Check, remove the bottom one. So this holds the fine organisms which might have gone through. Yes, and they are there. They are very, very tiny, tiny things moving, wiggling within the mud. So we have to take this to the laboratory and then identify them. Are you sure? Okay. So that is how to sample any water body. You look for plankton, and even with this we are lucky to get a whirligig insect which has been caught. The microorganisms will not be able to see until we check under the microscope. So thank you